Hey everyone, it's Jessica from First Grace, back out here once again. I swear this is where I find my peace of mind, even with all the noise, all the chatter. Now, I just wanted to kind of update everyone. I don't know. Like, I swear this week has been so weird for me because normally I don't like talking about my shit. You can ask most of my friends, like, I don't just tell everyone my shit. So, but I figured this is one of those learning lessons for me, so it could be a learning lesson for y'all. And that's what it's all about, honestly. Because I really don't. I mean, I guess some people care about being judged, and I used to be one of those people. But I really don't care, because I'm very comfortable in my own truth. And, it's all about perception. I'm really realizing that this week because, of course, the more sensitive we get, the more shit happens. But I feel like this whole week has been full of triggers, to be honest. Really making me question who I'm aligning myself with, how much am I aligning them with them. Hi Amanda, thanks for joining. I hope you find comfort in this video. And the reason I named this video Triggers and Finding Comfort Amidst of Pain is because, listen, when I say I'm a dig deep, like I dig deep, I do. If I feel uncomfortable in any sort of way, I will dig until I find out why I'm feeling what I'm feeling. That's the difference. A lot of people can't do that because they're terrified of the pain, but I'd rather figure out what it is so I can release it instead of, just letting it fester. So this is what I have found out since the last time I talked to y'all. So the last video I did, I was talking about the soul recognition, right? Between me and this person that I'm curious about. So I still haven't heard anything, and it is what it is. I'm over it. Yesterday was my grandfather's birthday, and I don't know. I just woke up like, you got this, Jess. Don't even sweat it. And so I decided to do a past life reading on me and said person to figure out why the soul recognition was there. And it does turn out that we were together in a previous life. But the thing was that he was actually, which I find it very funny that it came out like this, because he got the Wars and Battles card. And his whole family's full of military, but he decided this life, he didn't want to be a part of that. It wasn't in him, right? And I feel like something bad happened to him, or that he witnessed something really bad in war, especially around the Civil War. And it caused him to withhold his feelings, withhold his truth. Whatever the trigger was in that life really caused him to kind of shut down, which totally makes sense of why he's so shy this life. Now, the card that I pulled was unrequited love. One-sided love, y'all. That's the theme of my fucking life. So this life that, we had a really deep connection, but it was one of those things that he couldn't give me what I needed. And I had a bigger purpose in that life too. So either way, we wouldn't have been a good fit, and that's why our souls recognize each other. And now that I know, like, okay, well, that makes more sense. So again, it is what it is. What you gonna do? So Anyway, I did kind of talk to my best friend. Um, you know, I told y'all I wasn't going to reach back out to her, and I didn't. And I think with me not chasing her for a full 24 hours to have the conversation, she decided to reach out. And, it's already been 2 days where she was like, I'll call you when I get off work, or, you know, when I have a moment of free time. Like, I don't know, you playing on your Facebook, that you do have time. She's just avoiding the conversation, and I know it. So she decided to text me over Messenger to say, you know, I'm sorry, but being in between you and my partner, it's really hard on me, and I don't know what to do. We've never really had an argument, and it really sucks that it happened. I'm like, listen, honestly, what I'm feeling only has a very small portion to dealing with your partner. This has nothing to do with your partner in reality. It's about me and you. We're supposed to be best friends. Regardless, I love you, but I need to talk to you so I can tell you exactly what I'm feeling, why I've been triggered, and why I've been a hot fucking mess for days. And I don't want to do it over text. And she was like, so you saying we're not friends anymore? I said, it's not that we're not friends anymore. I'm just going to have to distance myself. She goes, well, we've only seen each other a few times in the last 7 months. How much more distant can we get? Well, you know what? There's that sign right fucking there, y'all. In 7 months, I've probably seen her 2 to 3 times, and every time it's fucking drama. So, but then when you start thinking back on it, and that trait to force you to do shit you don't want to do, I just can't. So she told me she would call me later. Of course she never did. Same old shit. I thought I sent you the text. I didn't have time. I was busy. Whatever. Like, listen, if my best friend said, hey, I need to talk to you because we need to have this misunderstanding cleared up, I'd be making sure that I made that time, because that's the kind of friend I am. I'm not going to let this shit just go on. I want to talk about it. I had to do that with my other bestie too. And because I introduced one of my closest friends to another good friend, which, they're both my best friends. I only have a few friends, y'all, so the people that are close to me are like my best friends. And they started talking, and of course, both of them are kind of dramatic, but, one likes to get up in other people's business, I think because she doesn't want to face her own. But it came to a point with my friend that doesn't live here. It really triggered me because I felt like people were talking about me behind my back, and I don't like that shit. And I told her, stay out of it. Stay out of it. I'll handle it. Let me handle it. She didn't. and it's like, nah, we're not doing that. So, and it's actually funny because the other 2 triggers this week, actually yesterday, yesterday and the day before, had to deal with both those people too. And so one friend said they wanted a reading, and usually we'll trade, whatever, but they apparently they didn't like the way I was reading, and they had already been talking crap about our other friend who did a reading, and they didn't like the way that she did it. So he called me to do it, but then he didn't like the way I was doing it either. And it's like, look, no one reads the same, y'all. Everyone's different, but I'm not going to change the way that I work in order to please you. So I did. I kind of got an attitude. Listen, I can be the sweetest fucking person you'll ever meet, but I'm very feisty, and especially the stronger I get, the more I realize I have to stand up for myself, so don't tread on me. So I feel that fire energy coming back up, and I really don't like that side of me, but I guess it has to happen occasionally. So I did. I kind of got triggered into it was like, now do you want the reading? Do you want me to continue? Because kind of being pushy here. And he's like, yeah, okay. So continue with the reading, made complete sense, you know, because I'm a digger. If I do a past life reading on you, then, you know, you should know what happened in that life in order to cause the blockage, right? Not just pull cards to see what kind of life, you know, life theme you had. That's pointless. You gotta go deeper than that, y'all. And then my other friend, who's also involved in this conversation, she watched my This Is Me video, and she's like, well, I'm glad to see you vulnerable, da da da. You know, guys these days, they do this thing called ghosting, and yeah, it really sucks because you don't know what happened. It doesn't give you that closure. And then she continues on saying, well, maybe you need these lessons, boo. Maybe you need to learn to be more empathetic when you're giving advice. Listen, don't ask me to be more empathetic. Seriously, I am so fucking empathetic that, okay, and I'm gonna show y'all when I walk up on this shit. Where I live used to be like nothing but woods. It was so quiet around here. And I mean, even this trail, it's not bad. We got a good bit of woods here. But it's a very small nature trail. Now, in my neighborhood, there's been a ton of trees. And I'm walking by it this morning. They're clearing this lot, right, for fucking executive building. And when I show you all these trees they're tearing down, like literally my heart sank. I could feel the energy of the poor trees that are being murdered. Don't ask me to feel more than I'm already feeling. So yeah, look at this shit, y'all. So this is exactly why I need to get out to the fucking country, because this is bullshit. Look. They ripped out all those trees, right? I don't even know if y'all can see that, but it is absolute a travesty. So all of that behind this black is gone, like all of it. And I was walking by and my heart literally hurt for these trees. So yeah, don't ask me to be more empathetic, because I don't know if I could take much more. No, and this is someone that I've known for 8 years. We've been through a lot, especially with our relationships. Both went through very toxic relationships. Hers a lot worse than mine. But again, she's one of those people that is very used to narcissistic behavior, very used to the abuse, manipulation, and sometimes I almost wonder if deep down she believes that she deserves it, and she absolutely does not. I can't tell you how many years I've been trying to build her up to say, look, you're a beautiful being. Quit letting people do this shit to you. But when it comes to men, man, you know, I think she's terrified to be alone. And you know, she's got 4 kids, so I get it. But in the end, she keeps going back to the abuse And then when she's not with the abuse, then she's attracting these men who are exactly the same. And it's the same thing I keep going through, but just not quite as often. And I don't let them in like she does. So, yeah, like, of course, you know, with what happened with me, I know that was my fucking fault. Every other guy I kept talking, like I talked to, it, whatevs. If it leaves, it leaves. The only thing that was kind of holding me on to this other person was, why was that soul recognition there? And, is it really that bad of a behavior for him to quit contacting me? Well, you know what? If someone wants to be in your life, they'll make time. Plain and simple. Obviously, it's not meant to be. And I'm perfectly okay with that. If he ain't meant to be in my life, he ain't meant to be in my life. I'm not even going to sweat that shit, because I got bigger plans. It really doesn't matter. It's just that moment where I was in that energy Friday the 13th and going through all that shit with my friend, like, damn. And both of them are Aquarius, get that. Like, my best friend I got in an argument with, and the guy that I was talking to. But yeah, that was totally weird. But yeah, don't ask me to be empathetic towards abuse. I will only pat your hand so many times and be like, listen, you were beautiful, you were strong, you don't deserve this, right? Before I start feeling like I have to defend your honor because you don't have the backbone to do it. And that's kind of where, and then and again, like, all the synchronicities, man, it's crazy. So I don't, man. When my birthday came around, because of all the shifts that I was going through, I was like, well, maybe I do need to do something for myself. Maybe I need to buy a reading so I can see, like, where I'm at on my journey. Am I on the right track? Which, by the way, I will tell you right now, if you were asking if you were on the right track, you are on the right track, because the people who don't care if they're on the right track or not are the people who are truly lost. So the fact that you're asking that question is a good sign. Just letting you know. If you're wondering, it might not seem like it now, but it will make sense later. So I decided to go with someone new, because I've only paid for 2 readings since I've done all this. And the first one was Stephanie with Divine Soul Journey. And if y'all haven't heard of her, you should go look her up, because she's amazing. Super sweet personality. A lot more meek than me. I'm more raw, I guess. But super sweet girl, and absolutely appreciate her advice, because it was spot on. And so it's been a while, and she originally told me that it was okay to let go of my husband. And good morning, thanks for joining in. Back on the trail, back at it. I don't know why, I just, like, I feel so comfortable walking and talking to y'all. I don't know, it's a good way to get out everything that's going on, because I don't really have that many people to talk to. A lot of people don't understand me, so it's kind of nice to have more spiritual people that are going through the same things as me. So anyway, I've been trying to get a reading with, I decided to go with someone new because I came across his videos, and very young kid, but it was very on point in his general reading. Decently priced, well, at least what's said on his video. And so I emailed him, and this was a week before my birthday. And I told him, I was like, listen, I usually don't do things for myself, but, this is the birthday present, and I really resonated with your video. I'd like to get a reading, see where I'm at on my journey. He responded within 24 hours, y'all. and went up like an extra $20 than what was on his page. And I was like, whatever, you know, $40 ain't bad. I'll throw that. So he was like, okay, well, email me your questions and I'll have it to you within 7 days. I paid the thing very next day. I do remember like on day 5 that I emailed him saying, you know, can you throw this question in there if you haven't started it yet? No answer. Day 7, like, is my reading going to be delivered today? And no answer. I waited like another 3-4 days. Hey, haven't heard anything. You know, is everything okay? Still no answer. I ended up waiting 2 weeks, y'all. And so finally, I think it was maybe day 14 or 15 that I was like, okay, listen, you're not responding to me, so I'm just assuming that the reading isn't done. If, you know, I would really like my money back. And you might want to be a little more cautious of how you respond to your clients, because you'll lose people like this. And trust me, I'm doing this, so it still took him like 3 days to get back to me, and he let it go. Like, I'm sorry you were so impatient on Spirit's message, and you no reason to be ugly. And it's like, damn, dude, I'm sorry the truth triggered you, but yeah, I'm not impatient when it comes to Spirit's message, because I know that the message is going to come whether, you know, you're doing it or not. So, you know, don't put that juju on me. Whatever. Like, yeah, you're young. Just trying to help you out. If you don't want the advice, whatever. Wish you the best of luck. So, I was like, well, maybe I'm not supposed to get a reading, right? Maybe I just need to figure this shit out on my own. Trust my intuition, right? So, it's been several months, and then, of course, more and more shifts happen, more and more detoxing, and I finally decided to call Stephanie and set up an appointment with her, because I know that at least with her that I would get solid advice that I could trust, and you know, that she wouldn't screw me over. So I set up the, you know, I pay my PayPal, whatever, pay the bill, sent me an email saying, you know, we'll get in touch with you soon to set up your appointment. Okay. Well, I asked one of my friends who's gotten readings with her as well, you know, how long did you have to wait? And she was like, you know, a couple weeks. I was like, okay, you know, I know she's getting bigger, she's busy. I'm okay with that. It's worth the wait. I know that. 6 weeks, y'all. 6 fucking weeks. And I was like, okay, seriously, what is going on? Why doesn't Spirit want me to get clarification? And of course, it's like I tell all my clients, most of us already know deep down what we need to do, but sometimes we just like that confirmation that we're on the right track, right? And that's exactly what it was. It's not that I needed it, it's like I wanted it, just wanted to know, have even more clarity. And so I finally reached out to her, and you know, she was like, oh my God, I just went through June and there it is, just waiting. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm glad I reached out then. She's like, yeah, me too. Thank you for being so, you know, understanding. And it's like, yeah, no worries. I know that when the message is ready, he'll absolutely be worth it. So we had our reading yesterday, and it just happened to be my grandfather's birthday. So how about that shit, y'all? I wake up on my grandfather's birthday without remembering it was my grandfather's birthday, because it's been 13 years since he's passed. And yeah, it was, I woke up feeling strong, feeling determined, like, I'm gonna let this shit right off my back. Fuck it all. And um, and then when my mom told me that it was his birthday, I was like, well, damn, how about that? True divine timing at work. And um, and you know, she did. She brought up the energy vampires, that I'm surrounded by them, and that's probably why I like being to myself. Because every time I go out, there's something going on. People live in drama, man. And I find myself talking about it a lot, and it's keeping me in that cycle, and that's not good either. So that's why I like to come out here and talk shit with y'all, because at least I can get it out. But I have to set stronger boundaries. I'm definitely doing everything that I can, going on walks, doing my yoga, doing my meditations. There are things that I could probably do different, but as of right now, you know, I'm doing whatever I can to keep moving forward. But what surprised me is that my grandfather didn't come in yesterday. It was my friend that passed away from suicide last year. So how about that shit, y'all? And like I said, I talk to him all the time, but he took over the reading, which I found very interesting. You know, that I have this blow up with my friend, and she has the nerve to throw him in my face, and I haven't been able to get a reading in months, and there he is, just waiting. He tells me to laugh that shit off, y'all. Don't even pay attention to her. And I found it interesting that when he was coming through, he was just completely free. He was absolutely beautiful. And Miss Bridget, if you end up watching this, I hope you know that I'm not the only one that knows he's more comfortable where he is, and he is completely free and loving himself again. And he's okay. He's perfectly fine, and I knew he would be. But yeah, he's around me a lot, and I found it really interesting because you know, I'm one of those people that it's really hard. Like, I always want to, you know, try and stay friends with people that I care about, even if it doesn't work. And, you know, we didn't have a serious relationship, but we did kind of date when we were younger, not for very long. And it was just one of those, like, teenage romances, but I was so fucked up because of my ex. Like, nah, I couldn't do it to him. So I told him, you know, we're just better off friends, man. He's the only person that I've ever, I guess, dated that that we were able to stay friends after all those years. And you know, we've been through some shit together, but I always felt so connected to him. And I guess more than I actually let on, I feel way more connected to him since he's passed, because, you know, with that ego involved and me growing in my spirituality. But yeah, she told me, she was like, yeah, I feel like the whole friend thing was more on your end, not his. I don't think he ever got over you. And I was like, I can kind of see that. That happens quite a bit. Where I'm like, listen, I can't do this. I'm not ready. And it's, you know, I have a lot of beliefs about, you know, I got a lot of issues around men in my life that I really severely need to work out. And she brought that up too. And I was like, listen, just tell me, because I like the clarity and I'm good, like I said, either way. But is it going to be like the child thing? Is it going to be, you know, when I had my hysterectomy, oh God, I was torn up, y'all. I've always wanted to be a mom. I'm a great mother figure. I'm very nurturing, very good with kids, always been very good connected to kids. And when I found out that I wasn't going to be able to be a mom, which I remember in my early 20s, I was like, dude, if I don't find a husband by the time I'm 30, I'll be having a kid by myself. I don't even give a fuck. Watch me. And by the time I was 30, I had 3 stepkids. So, it didn't really seem that big of a deal. But at least I had them. And when I found out that the reason I can't have kids is because of what I'm meant to do, and it's just not a part of it's not in my cards. Like, okay, I can, thank you, uh, you know, um, to know that it was in my charts that I agreed to this, and in order to push my spirituality to its limits, to push myself, I can't do it with kids involved. And I've been like helping raise other people's kids since I was 18, y'all. So, it's really time for me to step away from that and focus on myself, because I've never done that. But I was asking her, like, okay, it doesn't really matter, especially at this point, but is it going to be like one of those things? Am I just meant to be single for the rest of my life? Or is it one of those things where I just really need to work through my shit around the men in my life in order to attract the right one? And she's like, absolutely. You just got to work through shit. I'm like, okay, at least I know. At least I know until I'm completely comfortable in myself, knowing what I deserve, what I want in my life, how I view relationships, instead of thinking that all men are liars and cheaters and scum of the earth. That there are good people out there. I was talking about that yesterday. It's like, you know, one bad cop can ruin it for all the good ones. Or, you know, there's so many things that happen in life where it's one bad seed can turn it upside down for a lot of people. And I just choose not to be that way. Not now. I don't want to see the world like that. But I want to be aware enough to see the red flags. If it doesn't fit up with me, then it doesn't fit. And I'm totally okay with that. But I have to be strong enough to see if it does align. And until I get a better idea of what I want in my life, what I want my life to be like, and being comfortable in my own energy, I'm not going to be able to attract that. So, putting those good vibes out there that I will get pre-approved, I will get this property, I will be okay doing everything but my damn self, and I don't need anyone to help me. I got this. I don't need anyone to be in my life to give me validation. I don't need anyone to tell me my worth. I don't need anyone to tell me about my character, what I should not be doing. And don't get me wrong, y'all, I'm not against constructive criticism, but don't be a dick. That's all I'm saying. You don't want me to be a dick, don't do it to me, because I will. I bite back. But sorry about the noise, y'all. It's just, it made me realize too that I'm not really sure if any of the people from my past are actually meant to be with me where I'm going. None of the people here. And yeah, and that's what I'm saying, like, especially with my friends, I love them, I do, but I can't be around it. Don't ask me to watch abuse. Don't ask me to watch your circus. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Very aware of, if you need me, I'm there. But, you know, sometimes you have to distance yourself from that too, because if they keep going back to the same damn situation, no matter how many times you bail them out, it's kind of null and void. You're enabling, and I don't want to do that. So, you know, and a lot of people are wondering why their life ain't changing or why they ain't getting the things that they want. And it's because you're not closing out the cycles. You're not letting things come to a close. And it sucks. Yes, it absolutely does. But the way I look at it, why stay in prison when you can release yourself, right? If you are unhappy, you have to let go of the situation or choose to change your perception. You either stay in a situation where you numb yourself, you can't be yourself, to adapt to the situation, or you release it and allow the positive things to come in to view for you. But until you let it come to a close, it ain't gonna happen. And, you know, I've been working really hard on detaching myself, cutting those cords, and, you know, I still got a lot of cords out there. I did a nice, good meditation last night. And then when I started slipping into the meditation, my friend that passed away came in and was like, listen, Jess, you know I love you. Just keep working on yourself. It's gonna be okay. I'll help you. And I'm like, what do you mean you're gonna help me? He's like, I'll help you figure out whether they're good or not. I'll do the digging. Like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I'll give you a sign. I was like, all right. So I know y'all, I'm sure it's glitching because I'm out in the middle. I'm not near Wi-Fi. And I'm in the woods, so just take it for what it's worth. But basically he said that he was gonna help me and give me a sign when I found that person for me. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And my thing is, like, even though I'm not ready for a relationship, not even close, because I got a lot of shit to work on, but I don't want to close myself off, but I don't want to just allow anyone in. It's all about the connection, right? And I'm not in that needy, codependent state where it's, you know, I'm looking. Just if someone comes across my path, you know, I'll give you benefit of the doubt, but if it doesn't fit with me, then I'm going to let you go, plain and simple. And I'm not going to feel bad about it. But that's why I don't tell people about my shit, because you tell people, you don't know what their intentions are, right? Like, you might have friends that say, oh, I got your back. I got one friend that likes to give relationship advice. And in the beginning, like, oh yeah, they're good. They good energy, blah, blah, blah. And then when shit goes south, oh, you just need to leave it alone. So it's all, you know, about what's going on at that point, what's the details behind it, not the energetic, you know, side of things. I'm not going to change what I'm feeling based on the situation. You know, there might be things that you need to look at in a different perspective, because it might not just be the other person, but it might be you too. So I give everyone that honest advice because, you know, if we can't look at ourselves with humility, with patience and understanding, then how can we do it for others? You know what I'm saying? How can we truly be unconditional if we're not viewing ourselves in that way? And again, I understand. I did something stupid. I did what I told everyone not to do. I did what I told other men not to do. And, you know, it is what it is. I'm perfectly okay with myself and understand that I'm human and I fucked up, whatever. But that's the thing, like, one little fuck up makes them run. That just tells you you're scared of commitment. So, And I'm not afraid of commitment. I don't even know if I'll ever get married again, to be honest, because I feel like that's that whole man-made shit that, uh, keeps you within the government and you gotta pay shit. I am not afraid of commitment, y'all. Um, not in even the slightest bit. In God's eyes, that's what matters. It doesn't matter if you got the papers or whatever, but I want to know that if you ever switch up on me, that if it ever comes down to my well-being being in jeopardy, that I can get the fuck out. Because I refuse to go through this shit again, where I'm having to wait a year and deal with my ex's shit. No, not today. So yeah, I mean, you gotta find comfort in it though. If you're going through some triggers and you don't do the digging, if you don't allow yourself to feel like, okay, yeah, I'm disappointed, I'm upset, confused, whatever the case may be. I was I'm more than a little angry on Saturday, but it was one of those things that, like, why am I upset? Because my friend crossed my boundaries and clearly she don't feel bad about it. I feel upset that I allowed her energy to affect me in such a way that I ran someone off that could probably be a good friend. And, you know, it is what it is. I mean, what you gonna do about it? Like, for real. You can't change it. It's already done. So you gotta find comfort. Give yourself that closure, because it doesn't really matter if they're there with you or not. You were responsible for your own individual journey. So if you can't carry your damn self, you can't expect people to carry you, because they're gonna end up dropping you. They can't carry their load in you too. So don't expect shit from anyone. And just learn to go with the flow. Shit hits the fan. I guess we got a new wall color, y'all. um, that's the story of my fucking life. So yeah, no, I'm just staying focused, trying to release the energy where I can. But yeah, Stephanie told me that me and my friend that passed were actually soulmates, and the fact that he's the only person I could stay friends with after everything went down the way it did, that's true love. I was like, yeah, I guess it is. As someone that can truly accept you for you and still be there for you when you need it. If you meet up, it sounds good. It doesn't have to be awkward. So, I got that love everywhere. Might not be in the physical sense, but I do in the spiritual sense, and I'm okay with that. And I don't know, with y'all being here too, at least I have people who understand me. So yeah, that's what it is. So just listen, when shit comes up, you gotta dig deep, y'all. Dig deep. Because if you can't look at yourself and the patterns that you're going through, like me, I keep allowing negative people in my life because of what I grew up with. And two of the most significant men in my life are very pessimistic. And, you know, they're trying, but, that's a lot of life to live with pessimism and trying to be the light and all that darkness is really hard. So, but yeah, I mean, you gotta give yourself that closure. Hi. Excuse me, you're fine. Hi, puppies. So, yeah, I mean, you gotta give yourself that closure because you're never gonna get it. I mean, I remember one time I had a boyfriend that I swore was cheating on me, And I went through all this trouble to catch him. Sure enough, I did catch him. I did. And he laughed in my face. I made myself wait a whole week just to catch him red-handed, to have that closure, and it didn't do a damn thing for me. So yeah, you have to give yourself that closure, because no one else is going to give it to you. And you got to have the strength to know your worth, your purpose. And if anyone decides to walk out on your life, it just means that they can't go with you. That's all it means. And that they were holding you back, or vice versa. You know, you could be the one that's low vibrationally and people are moving on. I mean, Stephanie basically told me that, you know, I'm growing at such a fast rate. Just watch, in 6 months, I'll have a lot of the people who dropped away like, oh, I'm seeing angel numbers and I'm hearing things and da da da. I'm like, I don't doubt that one bit. So, you know, we all grow at different rates, and you can't expect everyone to be on your same path because they ain't living your life. So we have to give ourselves that closure. We have to give ourselves that power, that, you know, that inspiration, work on our positive affirmations. You know, I haven't really been doing that consistently, and Stephanie told me, you know, you need to do it as soon as you wake up in the morning. So I did. I woke up last night and this morning, like, how do I want to feel? What do I want to do? How do I get through this? And it's the same thing. I am a strong motherfucker. I am beautiful. I am whole. I am highly connected, and I am going to get approved. I am going to get this property. I am going to be happy. I will find someone who is of equal energy or more, someone who truly understands me and can love me for who I am, where I don't have to hide myself and they don't have to hide themselves. You know, I'm going to align myself with better people. I'm going to align myself with my purpose, and that is what I'm going to do. So yeah, I mean, it ain't nothing but a thing, y'all. Shit changes every single day, so you gotta give yourself that comfort amidst the pain. Understand, this too shall pass, and you know, it's just another cycle we gotta go through in order to find ourselves. Well, you know what? I want to thank all of you who have let me down, upset me, have done me wrong, whatever the case may be. You know who you are, because every time you knock me down, I get just that much stronger. So you're building this empire, baby. So with that being said, get you some. Now, I love y'all. Thanks for listening to my rants and being here for me, and I really appreciate all of your support. If this resonates with you, drop a comment. If someone else needs to see it, share it, and I wish y'all the best of luck in all of your triggers and shit storms. Okay, keep strong. Bye.